this?
Yeah, that works. Right, and then we can also do the thing of like me asking, do you have any eights? And if you have an eight, you tell me, and then I go again. If you don't have an eight, you say go fish, and then I pull up a card.
8 is the one with 2 circles, right?
Yeah, it looks like a little hungry time.
You're the players to make sure you have something to drink.
Who said that?
I regret to inform you, I do not have any 8s.
Alright, then that's a go fish, and I pull up a card. Now it's your turn.
Morning, Dylan.
Morning.
There's no aquatic life in this one.
You all may now go cards up.
I think the intercom system is broken.
Sleep well?
Yep. If a bit sore after yesterday.
Huh. You're telling me my injuries were kind of keeping me awake last night, so I've been up for a bit.
Right, you were there, weren't you? You didn't get too badly hurt, right?
I think I got pretty badly hurt. I knew bug got me right through my side, went clear through, blood quite a bit in my arm as well.
Looking into your sneezing.
It was rough. How about you? I don't think I saw you get hurt.
Not that bad, to be honest. My armor took most of it.
That is a thing that could change.
Well, ready for another productive day. Hopefully no alien bugs. Yeah?
Oh, definitely. Definitely hoping for no more alien bugs.
That is survival difficult on your world. Is survival difficult on your world? How so?
DM said there's something interesting at the tables, but I don't see anything. No, then. Another day. Oh, morning, Akira, Mar.
Hi, Venturo.
Morning, friend.
You
How is?
all right?
How
Fine,
is
aside from,
today?
well, Akira's a little bit asleep.
Hmm?
Ria. Friend.
Venora, they decide to call me Rhea.
I might.
Easiest explanation, second personality.
I see. Not something I will know much about, but alright. I assume. Well, Mirai seems to think you're friends, so I assume it's alright then.
I guess for now, aside from the fact that it's kind of weird that I'm in control since I'm usually not. So.
Well, make sure you're the head of medical knows of the situation.
It's in the medical sheet, so they should know. Anybody else? Well, I guess they'll find out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be taking my breakfast.
Take
By
care.
the way, Chef is not awake, so you're gonna have to get your own today.
Yeah, understood. Morning, Captain.
Good morning, Officer Delon.
Ding. Damn it.
Pretty surprised, no chef.
Nope. Morning, Mercer.
Morning. Never feels normal saying good morning on a spaceship. That's not. Anyway. Yeah, I get it. About damn time. Coffee enough for me.
Morning.
Morning.
Officer Delon, I keep dropping my accent because I'm really shit at keeping an accent. This is why I'm not the best of DMs.
I don't believe I saw you, before.
Just moved in from the night shifts. I
Interesting.
don't recommend it.
Oh, too late, because he's already stood up all night.
And what brought you to do such a ill-advised thing?
Working on a project. IT stuff.
Honestly, I was kind of getting lost in it, and then I looked at the time, and it was like, halfway through the night, and at that point I was like, might as well just keep going, you know how it is.
Yeah, I know how it is.
Maybe next time have a partner in the project that can actually be better at looking at the clock. Yes.
I got your back, Archer. I got your back. Yeah, but we already decided not to stay up all night, so...
I still haven't seen my roommate, so my roommate couldn't even tell me to go to bed.
Who's your roommate?
I don't even know who my roommate is. I think they're invisible. I saw something was moved in the room. There was a chessboard.
Huh.
I don't even remember when that happened.
Interesting. Well, maybe it's a ghost.
Maybe my roommate is a ghost. That'd be cool.
Your roommate is a ghost. The ship is haunted. And you're bunked with the haunted ghost haunting the ship. Well, be friends with him. Don't want to make a ghost angry.
Chief?
What the heck?
Well, when you sleep in a bed that's
Well,
negative.
didn't get your name.
Security?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may call me Vane. Of
Bane.
Hullbreaker repute.
Don't worry, I'll go away.
Hull breaker?
The air here's hot.
Don't make me repeat myself. I don't like doing so.
Security. Yeah, I think it's safe.
Well, you've been on an engineer call.
Don't lump me in with those muscleheads.
Okay, then what should we lump you
Tell
in with?
them where to shoot, they shoot. I'm far more specific how I operate.
Please don't break this ship's hull. Ask you politely.
Well, that's
No.
between me and the captain.
Yeah. I hope it was.
I assume so.
Well, yeah. Well, Vane, pleasure to meet you. Archer, I'm gonna go catch up with the boss, see if they need anything for us to do this.
Wait for me. Oh, didn't wait for me.
Morning.
Morning. He's all straight up for the day.
Officer.
Morning, Delon.
Commander of several.
Good morning.
Mission that I learned this morning.
And that is...
Engineer Costa's condition.
Her implant, right. I was notified about it at the end of the day. Are you requesting that rooms be traded?
No, not at all. I rather enjoy my bunkmate.
Very well.
What I am requesting is how confident are you in completing what she needs to complete?
Well, despite the current state of the ship, we do have some very competent crew members, I would
Officer
say.
Tashio.
Please stop calling me
The
officer.
only thing we're truly lacking in is a dedicated cyberneticist. But I think we have enough between engineering, science, and medical that they'd be able to handle whatever procedure they need. The only problem is making sure that we have all the required components for it.
I do have a backup. You won't like it.
Ugh. And what does this backup entail?
Well, should your plan fail, I may be able to contact Oracle and see if I can find a replacement. Now, it won't be as good as the one she has for medical, but it is a plan in case things go awry.
Let her get acclimatized to the rooms. Once she adapts to their energy, she should be fine for a little bit longer. After all, it's a proven method for work. For the time being.
As I said,
Though I appreciate the concern.
I
I'm
can
sure they
try
come to
again with every individual aboard this vessel. If I can prevent a death, I will.
I am aware.
Captain?
But the ship's in bad enough shape as is. I don't need favors owed to Oracle right now.
Well, it wouldn't be much of a favor, just an exorbitant amount of money.
Precisely. Money that we need to survive out here. Again, begrudgingly. Yes, Delon?
I'm not aware if you are already aware, but it seems medical officer Akira seems to have a condition of personalities, and it seems the other personality is currently dominant. If you wish to be introduced to said personality, I do not know what it means or what it is, but they introduce themselves as such.
Very well. I'll take a look at them later. Thank you for the notification. I did hear a shift in their voice this morning when I greeted them. Anyway. Make sure... Oh, also, if they don't stop by later, Please make sure that our nighttime engineer stops in to get their weapons surveyed by security. Still following policy.
Understood.
The shark person?
Correct.
I believe so, yes.
Understood.
The few of the science personnel were questioning them and were trying to guess their occupation, and they assumed he was security. He called us meatheads. Or they. Should not make assumptions.
Yeah, and they're the one that's the meathead because they threw trash into a storage container in the wall.
Maybe being in the night shift has been...
Even though we're roughly around the same height.
Maybe it's the night shift.
Things not like night shift.
Fair enough. I will have to go get my equipment from engineer. They should be checked from yesterday's use.
Changed real quick.
Seems none of the engineers are here. I guess I'll see if I can find them around the ship.
How does your party...
Oh,
Looking for someone?
Mr. Kroll?
Hmm?
I left
Yes?
my armor designs for checking of any leftover spores and the like, and I left my weapons afterwards in the engineering for double checking if they're operational. I wish to retrieve them.
If
Oh,
by chance
sure.
you are feeling
Understand, I prefer to have my equipment, where they're supposed to be. Oh. Seems I just missed you, Mercer. I wish to
Delon.
retrieve my equipment after yesterday's. I left them for a checkup.
Yeah, sure. I looked over them pretty quickly. They weren't actually that busted up.
Only the assault rifle was really used.
Yes, but I'm sure you know how to clean your rifle.
Appreciate it.
And your armor.
Right. Appreciate it.
You'll excuse me, somebody needs me up on the bridge.
Oh, okay.
There's
I was gonna ask. No way anyone a part of our crew that's supposed to find it before you.
This way, yes.
Lauren, did I hear you say something about chloroform?
When was that?
On top of the fact that you were kind of very far away when you sounded very angry, so I didn't quite catch what you said.
I don't know how ammunition works and how like clips work. I remember like basic training. So, the most part, I don't remember how you actually empty a clip.
On accident, we're hoping?
Let's see here. Called me short. Also didn't realize that they threw trash into a wall container. Acts like they own the fucking place. Then to be honest there. I tried to axe muscle weapon on their back because it's clearly a fucking cannon. And they just said that the captain has all the right documents for it. But I'll let me do my fucking job.
Yes, and the captain has told me specifically that the next time we see him, we have to tell him to come to security to have his weaponry checked and confiscated if required. By order of the captain. So the next time he tells you this, you tell him it is an order and he has to comply. And if you do not wish to do it yourself, you can always contact...
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
And if you do not wish to do it yourself, you can always tell Officer Cross or Officer or Commander to do it themselves. Or me.
Well, I have nothing else to do, so might as well go fucking confiscate it.
Well, I think it was more check to make sure, and if it is, then confiscate. But,
It's clearly a fucking cannon.
yeah, but you know how some people are with, you know, grabbing their personal things. Especially considering how they acted, so...
Yeah.
Once again, you can ask Venturo to come with you, just in case they become a problem. Just saying.
I will go try once more. Keeping them here to have the weapon checked over. Weapon. We don't know if it's a weapon or not.
Right, that is that camera. Morning, Officer City. Excuse me. Is everything alright?
I'm eating.
Understood.
Mine also too looks like a medical scanner.
You know,
Or they
that
thought it was
is-
some sort of game device. It also looks like one of those. I find it.
there's a lot of different models of those. But that does bring up a good question. I don't actually know. Do we have any cyberneticists on board? I don't even know.
I am
Is that
uncertain.
us? Is that mechanics? Is that medical?
We do more of the programming side. Medical does the putting inside. Engineering will probably do the building and acquiring the device.
Okay.
You see what I mean? That is the rig you were
Yeah,
talking
I know what
about.
they are. Yeah. So, yeah,
Well, they
Mercer
don't
has
have
one.
one.
You do not have one.
What's this about?
The rig.
I have on my suit, but it's also my armor. I do not wear it casually.
I see.
So when you see in my security armor, that is also my suit for if something happens. I understand that technically it has the downside that if we had to have a hull breach and the hull breach stops my movement between here and security, I will be, as this is called, boned.
Yeah, we have some gas tanks around. We got oxygen tanks around.
Yes.
Obviously.
The boots of this suit are also magnetic. I would be able to assist you in acquiring your suit.
Well,
If
in
indeed
this
need
case,
arises.
I mean, a part of the ship being fully depressurized. At which point, no help would really aid, as I would just die from the pressure difference if moved.
Well, it depends on how big the
that
hole
is-
is.
Exactly.
Like, if we're-
Captain is
all the air
down in
won't
the,
be
sparring,
sucked out into space all at once.
chamber. If you want to come down with me,
Mm.
we can ask him because apparently it was through
But that all
him.
depends on how big it is.
Yeah, it was the captain.
Okay. Sorry, I might have
That
not
was the door I
said that
won.
very well.
So it is removable.
Maybe you did. I just wasn't listening properly, so I apologize beforehand.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll show you. Oops, excuse me, guys.
Oh, it's
Pardon
down the elevator.
Okay.
Hi, Dallas.
I hope we're
Hi,
not
Archer.
actually doing any. Oh, hi.
Hello, Chip. Hi, Dr. Varun.
I don't know if we have had direct introductions. Venturo Delon, you can call me Ven. Officer Delon, either way works.
I'm Dr. Chiptolis Farang. You may call me Chipped or Dr. Varang.
Dr. Varun, understood.
Introduction.
I'm researcher Pierce. Just you can call me Pierce. It's not like a.
I do not do this.
It's not a whole thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
As security,
Apologies.
as security, it's good for me to know who people are and where they work for.
Of course. My name is Dr. Talia Coyle.
Understood.
It is nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
I feel like there's a lot of people I've talked to but have not given my name to on this ship.
We're working on making possibly
happens when there's so many people.
roster.
Well, I've looked through the roster as much as I
To
could.
be fair, I have been on ships with thousands of my own species and have exchanged words with very few of them.
I feel that. Yeah,
It happens.
You knew somebody or you didn't. Where I came from too.
Indeed, it is the same for me, as I have a military background. The only people I really truly knew close were the people under my own care.
But
I see.
this is a small ship, small crew. It's good to get to know each other.
Yes.
This is true, I suppose.
It also should be mentioned that the captain has made it clear that it's his belief that trust between the squad, the people on the ship, is what will help us survive anything that might happen.
Of
Thus,
course.
knowing each other and knowing something about each other is more than helpful.
Trust.
Speaking of, is
so.
there any security issues any of you might want to bring up?
I don't believe
None
so.
at the moment.
Are the cameras on all the time? Like always?
Technically, though, we have to activate to look through them ourselves. I believe the AI has some form of keeping an eye on them at all times, while we at security, we choose when we are keeping an eye on them. For the most part, the cameras are only in the hallways. We do not have direct access to the department cameras, if there even is any.
Clearly there is. When you need the AI, they do show up. So they must have some cameras somewhere. I'm assuming they gave security cameras for as much as they think security needs to know, possibly.
There should still be a camera in here to document any experiment or...
Well, I
I
think there's
forget
one we could
the
probably
word.
use in here.
Yes.
But I don't
Yeah,
think there's per se a monitoring one.
We could ask the AI at some point. See if there's if they have
True.
eyes in this room, and if they're always recording. We could
Well-
also just ask them to record for us instances, times, or dates.
Well, like I demonstrated last time when we were talking about our mission, we can always just ask them directly.
It's true. I'm always a little worried about AI. We had a group of people that used to keep track of everything, record everything. If we had an issue, we called what we called the help desk.
Once you get to large amount of personnel, automation is required to a certain point.
This is true for any efficient machine to function. Though artificial intelligence is still a burgeoning field on my world. We have not seen a need for it.
Where I come from, we didn't trust it enough with our information, kind of thing.
It is mostly used with communications between ours and other species.
The worst I remember from my younger days is when...
What's up?
Do you need some? What?
Potassium concentrate?
I believe we have some.
Why do you need it?
I need to calm myself down, and making explosives helps.
I see.
What?
Appreciate it.
Oh,
It's going to be made using a blueprint. It's going to be used in a door breacher, not an actual explosive.
Have fun?
I believe Officer Tashir has pushed themselves to do something they wish not to for the sake of it was their job. The
Yeah,
night
they are explosive experts anyway.
the night shift engineer
give them the things
the
they
night
go
shift
for?
engineer has seemingly been pushed back to morning shift duties, and they have not had their equipment checked for the classification of tool or weapon, and have apparently been somewhat rude when it comes to the duty. And Officer Desir has, I assume at this point, done the checkup. But I assume it seems that the person's rudeness is personally grating on Officer Tashir.
Oh, that makes sense. So there's somebody who doesn't wish to give their weapon up? Is that what I'm hearing?
More like that, if asked about it originally, they said that only captain, that the captain, they basically acted like, no, it's been done, the captain knows all that, and also insulted Officer Tashir's height.
Oh.
Which member of our
Uh,
crew is this?
It is one of the, apparently he's been on engineering duties during the night shift. They are the shark-like person with the, if you saw him with a floating contraption following behind him earlier
I
today.
have not
Shark-like
seen
person.
this individual yet.
I think I saw them walking into the canteen? The food place.
Hmm. Yes.
Right across the hall.
Yes,
But
at
that
the start
was,
of the
that
day.
was a little while ago.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a while
Mm.
ago.
Speaking of security things, I would like your opinions. One of the ideas that we were possibly thinking in our heads was having a container in your own department room that holds your personal sidearms. That would only be opened by either a security officer or the AI during emergencies. That instead of having to walk to security to get your sidearms in case of emergency or somebody boarding us, you will be able to get them in here if an alarm is to be raised, and the AI would allow the retrieval of said sidearms. Or a member of security stopping by and unlocking it.
Am not well versed with weaponry. I will leave the decision to you two.
I'm only getting opinions to move the idea forward.
I feel like having more weapons in more places for emergencies is always good. Worst comes to worst, you're in a different department, you pick somebody else's weapon up. You're being attacked, somebody else's weapon might still help you very much. The only thing will be potentially biometric scans, so only maybe the members of the department or the entire ship can get into the container after it has been unlocked. We don't want our enemies walking into departments and stealing our weapons from us.
True.
That would be a little bit difficult for myself.
True. Officer Tashir?
Retinal scan won't work either.
Yeah, I'm returning the potassium concentrate and also the vial from the other day.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for your hard work, Tashir. Were you at least able to do the check? I assume that is why the
You heard.
Oh no.
They're in our comms.
Oh dear, I forgot to turn my comms in the right frequency in my ears.
Dear. That's why. Yeah, I'll give you a brief later.
Understood.
For now, he's there, whatever the fuck, they're allowed to have it.
Oh dear. I'm so used to my devices being automatically set by military standard that sometimes I forget not everyone's devices automatically set themselves to the right frequencies.
Oh yeah, I have to set it every morning. It makes a weird like high-pitched noise at first, and then it goes away as soon as you turn it on. It's awful.
The door
Tom's
is open.
kind of old.
The door opened and then it closed.
Some sort of maybe even like a key card or something like that to open up the crates when they've been unlocked by security or the AI also would be a good idea. I realize we don't have everybody doesn't have fingerprints or retinas.
Yes, maybe a key card that everyone in no those will be easily stolen too.
However, they would not be useful.
Yeah, the only thing is maybe putting like a little chip in your finger that works like a fingerprint. But
like yes, I understand. I was more focused on the making sure our people are be able to say self-defend themselves, and I did not think of the fact of if they are just open, anyone could pick them up if they pay attention.
Yeah, but a good way, some sort of identification way should be good enough. The only problem would be if one of us were to perish, they do get access to the box. But they would also be able to remove our eyeballs or fingers anyway, so...
I was going to say, there's only so much we can do about that, no matter what we choose.
Yes.
Wait, do you guys not have a barcode associated with you?
No.
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 I have an internal ID. somewhere over there.
I have my scanner, which links to the suit.
Maybe we should
I feel
all get
awkward
one.
now.
Identifiers are always really good, but like I said, I still have my biometric ID in there somewhere.
If you're curious, Tashira, I was asking about the whole idea of having possible weapon lockers in the departments that are opened in case of emergency.
Oh, yeah, no, that would actually be relatively.
It's just now they're trying to figure out how to make them secure, since if they are not secure enough, our opponents, anyone coming into the ship could use them in. But if they're too secure, then people like
our head
science tally here will not be able to access them, as they lack your average identificator.
I was going to say, I do
It can
enjoy
be
the
a
conversation, but I
two-step.
need to get out of this room.
I mean, my original idea is that they're not accessible unless the AI or the security has
Yes.
caused an alarm. That will be the first step.
But also, it's one of those things of, it's nice to have our weapons in there. I don't even think you need to really lock it. Biometric scans will work. Trust system of nobody's gonna have their weapon on them through the day and only use it in emergencies. I know security wants to keep everybody safe, but we are all crew members together. I don't think we need too high of security.
There is a level of.
It can also be a. It can also be a two-step authorization. Can have a scanner on it for like a physical like code, barcode kind of a thing for a quick thing. But also some other type of protocol to unlock it. Probably the alarm system would be handy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
The
also,
thing
once
is,
again, people who don't have fingerprints, we could just put a chip in their finger that could register as a
Well,
fingerprint.
some of us don't have fingers to begin with in the capacity.
That's why a little chip in what would be your fingers, like even
Captain?
in the glove, could act like a biometric scan of your fingerprints.
If you're curious,
Well, there's also the fact that these
I brought up the. At one point, we were. I had the idea of having possible smaller weapon lockers where the department personnel's sidearms were in case of emergency, possibly locked by the AI or generally by security unless an alarm is raised. And we're currently just brainstorming ideas on the security measures or altercation ways if that idea were to go forward.
That's a good idea.
I actually like that a lot.
We would just have to
It would
always
help
carry on this.
minimize
We could also just
reaction
use chip
time.
scans and,
So, if you
cards
can
anyway.
have that
Hey,
set up, I wouldn't
Captain,
be
if you
opposed
take
to
a
it.
single step forward so you do not cause the door to constantly open and close as you sway.
small scanner to either check for a chip or check for a barcode.
Fair enough. They are a little sensitive. The only thing on the ship that actually works as intended.
Even if they like have a lockdown.
I assume because the builders who were making it would have thrown a fit if they were constantly stopped when moving things around.
So we can get in and out even if we're in a
Fair
full
enough.
lockdown would be a good idea.
Anyway, I agree. It's a good idea. Possibly have it biometrically locked, that way only one of the departments can access it.
Yes, that's the idea.
There's a small issue with biometrics. A lot of biometric things require a fingerprint or an eye scan. Some of us don't have eyes or fingerprints. So.
And Dr. Varun was thinking of possibly making a small chip to implement on the people who have none of those into their finger or where their finger is for use.
I do have a personalized barcode that I use around for a lot of stuff. If it's not too much to do.
Fair enough. Or we could just have it locked. Perhaps a time block then.
key cards. Just cards.
That could work.
The problem is they could be stolen if somebody dies, but also you could just steal somebody's eyeball or finger anyway. So it's just here.
Probably key or combination codes would probably be the better.
Yeah, but I've read some psionics. You know, reading minds might be a little difficult.
And if we need at least a level of knowledge of when it happens, have the AI take a image whenever a weapon is removed, so that we know whoever has been taken.
For the AI.
That could work, actually.
That will
Facial
put a lot.
ID. That covers two things. You get the ID facial scan of who is accessing the locker. A time-recorded record should work fairly simply.
And you know, at least at that point, the AI can decide if the individual is deceased or not, and not open it.
True, but also like a security override. That way, if we're ever attacked and we set off an emergency alarm, the system automatically unlocks for everyone.
You can actually help me, Mercer.
Mercer,
Talk to you about something.
Talk to you in a second. Captain.
Yes.
I have good news and bad news.
Good news.
Good news is we have somewhere to land.
Oh. And the bad news.
Bad news is it's an unknown space station.
Well, I mean, pretty much everything out here is unknown, so does not surprise me.
Yes, but usually they have a signature or broadcast.
An IFF.
So,
who they belong to.
Potentially pirates?
It could be potentially pirates.
Or abandoned. What if it's abandoned? That's good.
Possibly. Then the question lies is why it's abandoned, but
yeah, but it can just be in and out.
Either way, I'll take that over pirates.
More bugs?
Just want to let you know.
Do we want to chart a course?
Yeah, grab Archer. I'll meet him in the bridge. We'll start working on a course now.
Talk to them first.
Can you get a scan of the planet as well?
Cool.
I will be dragging you off somewhere. That's alright.
Yes.
I will talk with the commander about these ideas, and we will make a list of possibilities. We will then give it to possibly the head of science and engineering to see what is feasible to actually install, and how much material or thing we might need to install them.
Sounds like a solid plan, then. You have a direction? We'll move on then. You were going to say?
No, sorry. I was about to ramble about things. It's fine.
It's alright.
Have a problem with that. Speaking about planet scans, I need to look at the scans from the last planet we were on as well.
Follow me.
Right, I believe the medical personnel was gathering some material. If it's something we can use, that is always useful. I did hear one of the mushrooms was useful for medical purposes.
That's what I heard. That one of the medical personnel is growing them. I did all the scans of the mushrooms. I don't think there's any issue. Just if you have a problem with pollen, be very careful. They're very dense.
Oh.
You by chance checking them? Like
no.
Okay, let me ask you this then. When you woke up today, did you feel sick? Did you feel dizzy? Did you feel more tired than you were supposed to?
No, just the usual slight soreness in places where I was struck against my armor. I didn't take any massive damage, as you remember, but struck is still a struck.
I got you. Just checking, people.
Of course.
No,
If there is, it
upset
has not.
stomach, nothing.
If I do have anything, it has not made itself known yet.
That's why we're asking.
Yeah, I was a little afraid the blood was radioactive, but it looked like it was. Nothing that could pierce through skin, so you should be fine.
Ah.
Very low grade.
Yes. If I remember right from some of my basic informations, I had to make certain the 3 types of radiations each pierce more and more matter, but the more they pierce, the weaker it is by pure strength.
Yes.
I just had to note that because in case we were told that there was this specific type of radiation in the area, it will tell me immediately to know how careful I had to be with me and my squad.
Do you have visual cameras within your irises?
No, I do not have any cybernetics outside of in my thing. The only thing I have really is the small thing at the side of my head. Mostly that was for military ID chip.
Gamma and I believe beta radiation will cause your machinery to start to malfunction.
Yeah, I gotta stay far away from that.
This is the only fully mechanical part I have on me.
Yeah, that stuff will make me go blind.
Doctor, the head of our department has recovered samples from the previous expedition.
Ooh.
And would like us to run tests on them. At least to start them.
Did they specify what tests? And what kind of samples?
I will leave you to your duties
These
then.
samples consist of plant matter that has been dehydrated and fungus that have been dehydrated.
Of doing so.
Yes, I reported that to the science officer instead of the engineering officer. Unfortunately.
Oh, yes. Still, they may be able to take a look at it.
I meant their attitude. I tried to tattle on them to the science chief. But I am dumb.
Well, I do not believe them to
Oh,
pose an
Officer
immediate
Delon.
threat.
How have you been?
Officer Krantz. I just had extended conversation with a few science personnel about the possible idea of making those sidearm weapon lockers for each to have for each department in case of emergencies. In the end,
Are you suggesting a vending machine of sidearms in each department?
no, just a locker that is locked in case of and only unlocked during emergencies or specific situations.
I quite like that idea.
The captain also liked the idea as it went on.
Yes.
The idea.
That's a great idea.
If I believe the captain liked the idea given by one of the science officers of having them locked by AI face recognition.
Why
if
do
they,
not we would not have the code to unlock it remotely?
well, of course,
Facial recognition.
well,
is
of course,
wonderful, but why not just
yes.
do biometrics?
Because, as Officer Tashir has mentioned, not everyone in the crew has biometrics. They can lack eyeballs or even fingerprints completely. Especially science team member at Tashir. I forgot the name. They are in a full suit and do not have fingerprints and the like. Ideas like making a small chip.
Dr. Tale.
Yes. Ideas like making a chip to give to these members was brought about, but it seems the facial recognition from the AI is the idea that seemed to be the most accepted, with the personnel that the talk was had. Understand though, this was the idea is they are locked unless the AI or us trigger an alarm, obviously. And I would obviously say that we, as security personnel, should have access to, or the ability to open them by our own discretion.
I was thinking that perhaps they should be locked only to the heads of each department. Though, I think them being locked entirely, unless it is a, well, put-out emergency, I think is a better idea.
Outside of that, I'm not sure if the captain wanted it to be, it can be opened at any time with the facial recognition and possibly having the AI log any such attempts. In case something does happen, we will know who took the weapon and thus we know who is at fault of any incidents that might happen. But the main idea was the security of in case...
Officer Delon,
in case something happens
just
and somebody tries to
something
steal.
very important. I will be back.
Of course. Yes. Currently, I guess the current idea I posited the captain is figuring out, talking with the heads, getting their opinions, and making a list of possible security options, and then running them through said heads on what is feasible for us to make and install.
I think it's a swell enough idea. If you would be willing to see it through, so to speak. I think it is a good boon to have.
Having multiple ways, obviously, will be there in case of something catastrophic happening to the AI. If it's only the facial tracking, then in case of the AI's malfunction, it will be meaning that all that weaponry will be permanently locked. That is why I believe the whole security through triggering an alarm will be a good background.
I think in the event that perhaps the ship loses power, some other thing that might prevent the system that opens the box from operating, I think each head should have a key of some sort to unlock it manually. In the event that we are in dire circumstance, such that our power is out, we would want those boxes accessible.
We have bigger problems if our power is out.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Problems that might be solved with firearms, who knows?
Just remember, the more options we have, the more chances there are for someone to bypass.
Yes.
With a way of stealing or eliminating certain personnel.
That is a concern, yes.
But there is only so much we can do for... There is no such thing as perfect security.
There is not.
Firearm access or not, if somebody wanted someone else dead on the ship, they would find a way to achieve it.
It's easier to strangle someone with a cord.
Indeed. And there's no shortage of ways to poison, maim, eliminate someone. Not
Tamper with their
well, I-
terminal. Yes. Many ways.
Exactly.
Kick them into the airlock. Well, maybe less than that. I'm sure the AI will question if a airlock is to be opened with personnel without a suit inside.
Yes, we
I
are
do not
lucky to
think it
have
has
the
morale.
AI. Yes, but it would surely report something as unbecoming as a full frontal attack. Which makes our job just a little bit easier. But it is not without its flaws.
Have we ever asked how much view and control the AI has over the ship?
I do believe there's some number of blind spots, but I'm not entirely sure of all of them. Something to check over.
Captain? Archer's going to install something onto the system. Checking it in preparations for the updates.
Then, do not let me stand in your way.
Of course.
Or rather, sit in your way.
Didn't take very long.
Is this Call of Duty DLC?
Yes. No, it's not.
Sure. You'll excuse me for a moment.
Don't overwork yourself, like I said.
I will leave the computer stuff up to you guys. I am not so good with computers.
I'm not good with them either. I know how to turn on the cameras, and that's it. And I don't want to break the system, so that's all I do.
I think that'll work.
Here's hoping. But best case scenario, it's never used. Thank you for doing this. Appreciate it. But as I said earlier, you, Dallas, and Costa have full permission to do the install whenever you're ready.
Okay, well, there's a lot of prep work that we need to do first, so I'll get back to you on that. Do the actual stuff.
Take your time. Remember, rest up as well.
Well, the coffee's flowing through my system now, so feeling pretty good.
As long as it's not those energy drink craps that humans have brought over. Probably one of the worst things that I've ever experienced is finally being able to go out and do the
Everything quiet?
It is quiet.
I think I'll go and bring this up with the medical.
times when you generate
The ship?
Were you informed about the check person?
Oh, right. You were supposed to debrief.
Yeah. Essentially, they're allowed to keep it. It is a hull breacher, which is part of their toolkit stuff. Yeah, ship hull breacher. They are a bounty hunter. Keynotes that I remember from the conversation. I'm not too big of a fan of them. But that's just an issue with bounty hunters.
I see.
You know, considering
You
how
should tell
in
that to
some remote
Argyle.
places.
Tell me what?
About our friend Vane.
Yeah. Apparently the can weapon that they have is a hull breacher, and from the conversation they are a bounty hunter.
I see.
Sounds like we have to keep an eye on things if they are more than usually eager to go on a away mission. That they do not
What an eclectic crew that
decide to
your gang has
do a
gathered.
secondary option on their own.
A hull breaching device is probably perhaps the most dangerous device aboard this vessel.
To keep on your person, absolutely.
But we're not supposed to authorize to him about it being further, as Conscious said.
We confiscated the weapons of everybody aboard the ship because they posed a threat to the individuals. A hull breacher poses a threat to everyone.
Yes.
But I will defer to the captain and the chief.
It's sad how it is.
Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to make sure, well, there's not much I can do, but I'm going to observe the surgery of my bunkmate in the hope that she survives.
I'm gonna sneak in here to take some water, cause I did not set myself some water before session like a down. Welcome to the power of a single room apartment.
It's about to be.
Don't know if they will be having a surgery happening, then I should not talk to them about any unnecessary things. I can wait.
I'd appreciate it.
Let's see if the head of the science is available for the talk then.
Is it okay if I follow you around?
Yes, sir. Of course, Officer Tashir.
Please stop calling me officer.
I will change in between calling you officer and not calling you officer, depending.
I would appreciate it if you just call me officer.
I understand that you do not like the fact from your past, but understand that you are currently in a security officer position. That is technically your title. Well, as technical as Argyle using the Officer Argyle, Officer Kroll using the wording, and it's sticking to me, and me taking it as a habit of calling all of us like that. Huh.
I see.
Yes, but I already spoke to... Maybe I should spoke to
Have we attempted to hail
the head of engineering specifically about the whole idea. First, since after all, it's technically... it really is a mixed job, isn't it? You need engineering to actually installing the whole container and everything, but then you need science to actually to make the whole system.
I think that's engineering's job as well. In some capacity.
Well, yes, but making the whole programming for the AI to actually recognize faces if it already doesn't, I assume it does. But then telling it all the other parts. Do you know what the head of engineering is right now? Any chance?
I haven't seen. I don't know where Mercer went last.
He's not. He's hoping he's not going through the vents again.
That was still pretty fun to me, though.
I guess I'll be just walking. So we have science having a talk in the science room. I assume they're going through their findings of the spores. We have medical busy with... what did it say? Surgery?
Surgery? Yeah.
I did overhear him speaking of something about replacing a part in Officer Kroll's bunkmate.
Can I... Happened.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get your opinion of having someone like Ving on the ship?
What do you mean?
No, I don't want to chalk it up to me just aiding bounty hunters of my opinion of them. I don't know if it's a me issue or like something. I don't know. I kind of am over paranoid with bounty hunters considering a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that. People who do bounty hunting jobs could be easily seen as selfish and doing things for just their own thing, but they were allowed to take job in this. And as the captain has said, we have to trust the members of the crew to be able to do what they do. It's the same reason why I trust all of the security personnel here to be able to do their jobs and keep, well, to what they're supposed to do.
Alright, guess it's just me that was getting overly annoyed. Alright.
If you believe there's a reason to keep an eye on them, keep an eye on them. If you believe you do not wish to interact with them, do not interact with them. There is enough personnel here that if he causes an issue, we can have another member of the security handle it. If you want to give him a message and he causes something and you wish to give him a message, have Officer Vorl handle it. Yes,
Are you wanting to use the lift?
I'm looking to see if Mercer is in the engine room. Not engine room, the power core.
The reactor room.
Yes. Oh.
I am also here to investigate a audio anomaly.
Oh? not believe I see him.
Ah. That is the anomaly.
Oh, the fact that once I get too far, you cannot hear anyone? Ah, I see. You know, in situations like that where something like that has to be tested, that visor of yours is really convenient. Something to report?
You cannot see my mouth moving, so it is good to have a
Wow, that is bad. Yeah, it's this spot here.
Yeah.
Something to report to the engineering.
Could be flux generated by the reactor core. I am not certain.
There's
I'm not an engineer.
there's a spot where you cannot hear a person next to you, as if there is a filament stopping voice from transferring. Well, I guess I will have to just contact engineering. Oh. I want to send the off chance he's in the hangar. Nope. If you ever have to worry about something, understand this. Unless something... If you were to do something extremely against the ship, until then, anyone who wishes to capture you or take you for any sort of reason, I will defend you as any other person of the ship. You're part of the security team, and my job is to protect the team. I believe I used the wrong wordings there. I might have just made things worse. I'm starting to believe that Mercer is indisposed until the end of the surgery. I do not know why I believe this, but I might just be better off waiting.
Other engineers.
Finding an engineer. It takes... I am rather slow.
Have you seen an engineer?
I believe they are also looking for one.
Oh, look, an engineer.
Oh, an engineer. Hello.
Yes.
Perfect
I solve
timing.
problems. Hello.
A lot of security around me. Such a hard time finding an engineer.
Oh, one moment.
I have seen the, I believe the 3
Yes.
members, the one who came from the night shift, the one with the red skin, and then them.
Oh,
Yes.
the shark is an engineer, aren't they?
Yes.
Is there something we need to have my suit?
I was hoping to find the head engineer, but I believe he's indisposed right now with the project.
Upgraded?
I'm sorry.
Would you like this done now or overnight?
That
No,
is
you look frustrated
entirely dependent
from what I've said.
on yourself.
I felt I should
If
be
you have any
apologetic
time
about it.
and would like to attempt it now,
No, you're
it
fine.
might
I
take
just
some time.
am grumpy because they get to keep their weapon. And I don't get to carry one. I'm an engineer. I'm for security. But for legal reasons, I can't have one.
True.
Hmm.
However,
Well, I guess sadly the situation is
Would you like
they
to
haven't done anything wrong
inspect
yet, and
at least.
you have.
I can do that. Should we go somewhere that's not a hallway?
Allegedly.
yes, I
Maybe-
will follow you.
Allegedly, also. But also, you know, you spend enough time here, you prove your trustworthiness. I don't see why they wouldn't give it to you.
Eventually the captain and commander will, I'm sure.
Also,
Figure
the
this
farther
out.
we get from jurisdictions of the rules and laws.
I would rather not get arrested upon re-entry into rules and laws.
Yeah. My station didn't seem to really care about rules and laws, but oh well. A little crazy.
Well,
Some of my race is crazy, but I'm not very important.
if everyone in your race is crazy, then that just means everyone in your race just by nature is like that, and that's just normal.
Oh, that's where I get confused, because we don't really have scientists or medical personnel to really, like, you know, go into the nitty-gritty of our biology and why we act the way that we do, and yeah. And I'm starting to notice a few things being away, and I also noticed them when I was in solitary confinement. I calmed down, like, near instantly when I removed my mask and breathed, like, normal, what you breathe oxygen.
Hmm.
But then the moment I put this back on, all of the aggression just resurfaces.
Right, but wasn't it if you keep breathing normally too long, it starts causing issues?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Oh, I know. Yeah, and as far as I've been told, that I am supposed to keep this mask on, and only for about, like, an hour a day I'm allowed to take it off. That's all I've been ever told. Not like we have anyone doing the science to find out. It's all what other races have perceived of us.
It could be something you could talk with the medical team about. Do some research, have them monitor your physical levels when you're not wearing mask and when you're wearing the mask. See if they can and possibly give that data to the science team, to see if they can figure something out.
Maybe. I do know at some point that we're gonna have to worry about my tanks running out. Let's see, it's been about 4 days now.
Where did they not supply you with enough tanks to last you the trip? The unknown duration?
12 tanks.
12 tanks, I
Yeah.
see.
Mhm.
I assume you've given at least one of them to science to know what they should be trying to recreate.
Oh, it's literally any pollutants. They can fill it with methane if they want. I can breathe it.
Is that so?
Yeah. It's not like completely specialized oxygen or anything. It's literally just a shit you guys can't breathe. Yeah, if I think here before it is.
Oh, that was Mercer. Is Mercer up? There he is.
It is.
Doing well.
Well, can I then give you both something to do? I wish to bring up an idea.
Oh.
I have talked with this with one of the earlier days. I brought this with the security team, and today I brought it with a few science members. The idea of making sidearm lockers for the different departments' side lockers, sidearms. Like for you, example, for you, somewhere in here, a specialized locker that holds your, well, if you have any more actually weaponry class sidearms, that will be unlocked either by, well, we've been working with multiple ideas, but the current, maybe the most approved idea by the captain was the idea of having them only unlocked by facial recognition by the AI. Also, one of the ideas I personally brought up
Why don't we
was
just have it to where we have to go to a security member to begin with then?
Security. I will say that we should have security members be able to unlock them if needed personally too, or if we or the AI trigger an intruder alarm on the ship.
I mean, I'm sure we could have something like that.
Possible.
I'm currently
Hell, we
getting
could just
from
set that up in people's rooms.
I would not wish to people to start running into the rooms to get their sidearms. The idea is that if you're near your workstation when an alarm goes off, you can immediately arm yourself.
Clearly, you've never slept with a gun under your pillow.
I'm ex-military. I have done that very much so. The point is though that but also remember that we have confiscated most people's but remember we also confiscated most people's personal weaponry due to the UPA policy.
Well, yes. Well, more so meaning is we could just make, like, gun lockers for them in their own rooms. That way they don't have to go to their workstation. I believe the point is that they're more likely to be in their work area.
The idea is that currently,
fair.
if people wish to arm themselves currently, they have to go all the way to security, where we have stored all of the weapons currently, outside of the ones that security themselves carry on them at all times, just in case. The idea is that no matter where in the ship you are, if you are able to quickly get to a workstation, you will be able to get a hold of at least one sidearm of someone's sidearm in case, so you can defend yourself.
I mean, I can have someone make the blueprints for it. Go from there.
The reason for the AI face recognition is for security purposes. We do not want them to be opened without purpose and without a need, and we don't want it to be openable without us having some sort of trail of knowledge about it happening in the first place. In case something happens, we can identify the weapon of what caused it, and then we can follow the trail to who retrieved the weapon, and thus, well, at that point, that's the person who has to take responsibility.
Well, at a certain point, it comes down to just having it be secure. It needs to be made out of something strong. It needs to be made out of something with some resistance to EMPs and magnets and the such. Can't use one of those lockers because I could just walk up to it and punch my hand through it. And if we have somebody on the ship that has a magnet, they could just short the thing. So.
Needed a magnet?
No, not necessarily.
Just talking of the possible ways to bypass
however, this does
average
also
level
add another
security.
problem. If we don't want to add some security and have it to where it just locks and stays locked, problem comes down to if the ship's hit with an EMP, then the gun's locked in there, and then we're boarded, and we're all fucked.
I assume, if I remember right, it was you, Officer Roll, who brought up the idea that in those cases they would unlock. Of course, that has the downside of that if somebody has done that on purpose, and then they have access to guns. But that is a risk, sadly, in that situation, because we cannot just let ourselves be without access to our equipment. There's only so much.
It comes down to, do you trust the other crew?
Well, the captain has made it a point that us trusting each other is going to be a main way we can survive anything that comes at us.
It is paramount. We are in uncharted territories.
I trust the its heads
who
and
makes their home in uncharted territories, right? Pirates.
Indeed.
you're not wrong. That's why I wished
Again,
in
we
case
can have something drawn up. Go from there.
Yes, that is the current
Security
plan.
measures can be put in afterwards.
We can ask the science team on what sort of a programming or ideas they can have on that. The science team currently, as we talked, had ideas like simple key cards, biometric scanners, which will not work with members with lacking of biometrics. It's why the facial recognition of the AI came into main mind.
We could do retinal scans.
Not all of our members have eyes.
Code.
And as the science officer pointed out,
we could just have a code.
Yes, the code has the downside of if we get people of psychic potential coming in and then learning that code from psychic use.
True.
This is why it has been quite a bit of a circular conversation of all the security measures, as each security measure has its downsides. The AI recognition has the downside of if the AI goes up or the ship goes out, it is unusable. Us having to call an alarm is unusable if we are caught in a situation where we cannot reach a way to call an alarm. It is a choice of which we believe is the most workable. Both with what we have available or what we can make functional.
I guess it's more so a science problem, isn't it? We just have to make the mechanics.
So my question, I guess, in this case would be, do you think it will be better to make it that it is electronically locked, to be kept locked, in case of power outage it will unlock? Or do you believe it would be better for it to be electrically unlockable, without power it will stay locked? Which do you believe is in your opinion,
I think it'd be
in all
best to
three
unlock
of your.
without power.
I believe, and this is question for all members. Is I want opinions. Yes, unlocks without power.
Always put in a manual override.
And or a backup battery on the interior.
Right, I believe
Backup
one of
batteries can be fried.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I believe one of the
They would
ideas was
fuck
to
up with
give
any
all the
MP.
heads their own key for manual opening. But once again, ideas, and at the end of the day, later on approval of which will be implemented, I'm sure. I will be trying to keep track of all these options and what people have preferred. Currently it's the AR recognition, the electrically locked that unlocks without power. I believe I should ask the... I will also ask the medical team their opinion on what they believe is their image of safety.
Me and Grohl will, as I said, come up with a blueprint. Maybe build a prototype.
Appreciate it. Well, that's all I had to say.
Thank you, engineering.
You good?
Yeah, doctor. I'm just not used to these fucking beds and the pillows and all that.
Officer Roll. Question.
Yes.
If you call science personnel with the affix of doctor, what do you call the medical personnel?
Doctor. They are Dr. Tally, so I call them doctor.
I have my own way of... as I have taken Officer Kroll's style of calling all of us in security officer. I call our head commander. I have not figured out what to call the medical team members. But, well, maybe we just call them by the names.
Doctors or medical. That's what I would go with.
Yet also science uses doctorate. So...
Venturo Delon. Yeah.
Commander?
Hello.
Officer Kroll? Cross. Why do you keep Kroll? Where do I get Kroll? Am I looking... Oh, is it because I'm looking at you?
Probably because you saw Grohl. Probably because you saw Grohl and you were looking at Rawl. It is okay.
I will learn.
I'm sure they will understand.
Well, head of medical is right there. Let's see if they have anything.
Believe me, you're not the only one that noticed it.
Captain.
Yes,
So it's been
medical
brought up
chief
to
of
me
fleet.
that it's been brought up to me that apparently there seems to be situations where people decide to do training without a healer around and give themselves injuries and
Healer.
medical.
You mean a medical
Medics.
officer?
Listen, what I'm saying is, it's been brought up to me that last time that there was a SPAR training area, there was a concussion and it wasn't healed or dealt with until probably like very later on. But what I'm saying is having a medical, personnel on standby when you're doing these things would be very nice.
Is this what about happened with me and Savion earlier today?
I don't believe it was a today thing. I think it was more when...
I believe that was the time when security... That was during the
There you go.
second day when Commander decided that we should have a slight spar between security members to get to see our capabilities. However, since Officer Roll went against Commander my name's today. Crunch, Officer Crunch.
Okay. Have another meal. Your blood sugar might be low.
They went much harder than me and Officer Cross.
Understood.
I'm just saying, maybe when someone goes there, ensure or enforce the fact that they need a healer.
No, you're already.
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh. I'll talk to Gunch and see if it, if the next time that people are sparring, make it a policy that a medic needs to be notified and on standby.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for bringing the concern to me. Are you alright?
Psionic overuse, that'll be okay.
Okay.
If you're not big...
The doctor.
No,
We have an unconscious individual heading towards medbay.
Oh, and it is Commander Crunch, and it is Officer Sid.
This is not what I'm asking for. If you know what, it's fine. Anyways, I believe Argyle.
Do you need to get to work?
Something earlier. No, I'm fine. Everyone else can take care of it, or the other staff. Anyways, Argyle suggested that maybe we get like suit scanners.
Agreed. And after that happening, I concur. We should probably have them, regardless of cost. I'll have the funds allocated to it when we get the opportunity.
Okay.
Again, I'll never understand this concept of currency everyone uses. Makes no sense.
You will acclimate.
Besides that,
it's been 5 years. Still aren't used to it. It's odd.
besides that, when are we going to be like to the next station, by chance, if we are even near?
The closest station is a days away. We're on course to it now, primarily to check in on repairs, but it's an unknown station. We don't know what we're going to encounter when we're there.
Alright. Well, I guess I'll ask for the things that I want to ask for when we get there. Beforehand. So.
Officer, if Riti, was that it? If you have time.
Yeah, be free, yeah.
Yeah.
I have time right now.
I wish to bring up a concept that I've been talking with the other Officer Roll must be right that I'm going low blood sugar. I'm having trouble just speaking. I have brought up the idea. No, I'm just. You might be right. I might need to take a break and eat something. So, what is your opinion on having containers in the medbay and in each of the departments that hold the personal sidearms? They will be only unlocked by either security personnel or in a case of emergency. Possibly by facial recognition by the AI, possibly by keys held by the heads of the departments. The idea is that in case there is an emergency, people will be able to arm themselves even if they are just in their own department.
Thank you.
I mean, it sounds like a good idea, but it also just depends on everyone.
No, I have.
Okay, let me be more direct. So it sounds like a great idea. I do like this, but not everyone's good with like a firearm in the first place.
We will get everyone trained.
So,
And well,
even
that's
then,
why,
I can't use a
and that is
firearm.
why I say sidearm. Sidearm does not always.
Tank in hand, please move.
Sidearm does not always specify a pistol or something. Just a smaller size self-defense ornament, for the most part.
Alright. Well, I mean, I support the idea. Just maybe not make the sidearms lethal by chance.
That is sadly something
Non-lethal
that.
weapons are easier to use.
That is sadly something the
But it costs
people will have to make on their own, since we only have the weaponry people have. Well, we have confiscated off the people, as you remember.
Not quite dumb enough to
I mean, I am myself
what we are
on
trying
that
to
rank.
resolve.
proper cybernetics professional.
What we are trying to resolve is people not having to run all the way to security to arm themselves in the event of a boarding or something of the sort.
No, I get that.
Mm.
I don't know. Without any negative points, if I had any, it sounds like a good idea. I'll just say that.
Mm.
If
If
you
the
have to
ship
give your
isn't
opinion,
massive, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Sorry.
uh,
Say it again.
what will be your opinions on the how they will be unlocked? Do you have any personal ideas that you will think will be useful or what you will approve of? I'm getting opinions just to give on to see what we can use and what we can't use.
Oh, my name is Amy54.
Well, the AI sounds like a great idea. If we were to have a situation where we can't use the AI, I'm not sure if we could really rely on it, you know?
The engineering currently is with the idea that the locks will be electrically powered, and in case of EMP strike that will knock out the ship, the locks will open for that duration.
A title. They're very fond of titles.
I see.
Which has its own risks.
Who do you take bounties for?
Yeah, that's the way I'm thinking.
Pirates.
Hmm?
This is a fair warning. Your your med bay, all the colors are inverted in there.
I don't even know what that means, but I'm going to assume it's has to do with psionics.
Interesting.
Okay, but how?
You now have 2 individuals in your med bay that need attention.
Oh,
I think I understand.
I want to get you the report from science later.
Interesting.
You have given your.
Again.
The color one is comical to me.
Oh, I went to science for the things. I can give you those papers later.
There's discrimination about what part of the crew you target.
Yes, you have given your opinion. Handle the situation.
Efficient. I imagine effective.
How do you think I got my title?
This is the first time I'm hearing of psionic mishaps like this. Though there were not many psionics in my unit back in the day.
Mechanical repairs, as well as
Congratulations.
things I'm not permitted to.
There are psionics in your unit now.
Ah.
Well, I'm not. At least I'm not the unit commander, so. The only thing I need to worry about is not to get killed by them.
I've done shipbreaking on occasion, but only as scavenging work.
Who knows?
I
Maybe
can
I
assure
would
you
have
mine
had
are
the
not very
chance.
offensive.
You have psionics potential.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
Oh.
mostly in the brain.
Impressive.
I see.
Any potential I might have was lost when this was installed, from what I understand.
That tends to happen.
Previously.
I don't know. You have more of a chance than I do.
A very in-depth field.
This is true.
Cracking your ship's hole open.
But also means that outside of what the electronic forces that they can conjure, we are not as... Wait, did it work that way? Did it work both ways? The more more you have cybernetics, the more resistant you are? Or is that just old wives' tale, some military personnel say?
I do not know.
It gives me great pleasure
I
to
hardly know anything about psionics. I was making a joke.
Right.
Pirates are illegal. They don't officially exist.
We can do tests if you want.
Yes, piracy's illegal. They can't do that.
I'm sorry. The idea that piracy is illegal, they do not exist.
I understand.
Uh,
We are in uncharted space. I do not know if that registers in his brain yet.
Yes, we are flying through non-existence, as it was not charted, does it not?
They do not exist, yes.
I'm going to see if I can find the head of science to bring this idea to.
Very well.
There's a lot of things that don't exist that you can most assuredly see with your own two eyes.
Roll.
I have seen some communications slightly in. If we find any that are slightly in the infrared range, I would be able to assist.
Yeah, I could see a little more of the non-visible spectrum of lights.
Yes.
Excuse me, do you by any chance know where the head of science is? Or are they headed out?
Hydroponics.
Oh, they're so
You can
close.
usually
I wasn't
find them in
sure.
hydroponics if you.
I always figured if the doors are closed, I should not enter.
If they are closed, then that means there's probably no one in there. I checked with them about that. If they would want to keep it open or closed or not. So
I will check the other doorway then.
The door has been fixed.
Yes, it has been fixed. Not gonna die to a massive door.
Pardon me.
Commander?
You've definitely got some interesting wires in that head of yours.
It's all the way over there now. Hold on.
Captain Gunch was looking for you.
The wires in my head are a
All
minor
right,
business.
I'll go head him
He
off
went that
the other
way.
end.
This doesn't come off. You can't do
What about the other door?
I haven't been thinking for very long. I'm sure he's anticipating it. It was good to meet you, Vane.
You as well. I can't wait to hear more from you.
I guess I will wait for them to be done with whatever they're doing. Wait, was it really like half past before the start of session? Jeez. I'm looking at recording and I see like 2 hours. Can you imagine 7 hours ago I woke up and then I did D&D. Freaking ball is interrupted by everyone turning into monsters by choice, and then the zombies come in. They're the scary zombies. I could cheat easily, but I refuse to, because that's kinda against the whole idea. No, can't just sit there and wait. No. God damn it. Good day. Good day. Oh. Greetings. I don't think I...
Not mine.
No, I was actually looking for you. I don't think I ever got to introduce myself before, but Venturo Delon of the security team. I'm currently talking to the heads of the departments to bring up an idea and getting everyone's okay with it. Specifically, the idea of having each department have their own weapon sidearm locker. The idea is that that in case of emergency or boarding, members of the staff could easily get their sidearms even when without having to go to security office. Currently the idea is currently the most well thought out ideas based on the opinions of the other heads of security, other heads, is either having them unlocked by either keys held by the heads of department, facial recognition by the AI, or just a general unlocking in case the power goes out or by a security alarm is triggered by the security or the AI.
I like these ideas. Director Halas, it's nice to meet you, Mr. Delon. As I was floated around that I kind of heard of earlier, I think it is a wonderful idea. I did have issue with them all being locked in security, but it is not our decision. So I think it is fantastic if we would all have our own departmental lockers of weaponry belonging to our staff. I think a conventional lock with some type of technological identification would be good, so you know who is accessing it. If this proves too tedious, then the department head, I think, would be good to carry the key.
That's why the I believe the belief of the using the AI's facial recognition would be the most convenient, as we have many people here that lack your average humanoid credentials, such as eyes or fingerprints. With the AI having the files on each member, they will be able to scan and recognize people and thus be able to allow them to retrieve a weapon of their own department. Obviously though, backup systems in case of power outages, of the locks just opening in that case, or security being able to open them if need be, will also be brought to the table. I'm currently getting the ideas of these technological ways of doing it, and you could talk to the science members about if they can make the systems required for that. Engineering is planning on making a draft and possibly a test version of a locker that we could use.
We just make room.
Right.
I think it's a wonderful idea, and I think backup protocols in the event we lose power would very much ease my discomfort with this. That's my only grievance. Is the what ifs.
Yes, that is most of our talks with the different members of the different departments. I originally had a long talk with one of the doctors, if I remember right, Dr. Varun specifically. It was a lot of back and forth on different types of identification and the downsides and the ways of bypassing these, and thus the idea currently, at least in my eyes, is to make a list of these possibilities, and then the heads with their personnel could figure out which ones are the most feasible to do with the resources and abilities we have on board, and what we can implement, and what we can believe is the safest as far as we are concerned.
I think that's a good plan. It's a good place to start. It lays everything out. I think it's very good.
Good.
I would be happy to discuss this at length, should it be needed.
Yes, good. I have a...
I'm in brains.
With this now, everyone, I have brought this with all the department heads. The captain is also on the agreeing on this, having the crew be able to defend themselves in case of emergencies. Very much something that everyone agrees on, even with the UPA's requirement of those considered civilians being not carrying firearms. But well, we will wait for...
It is quite a poor ship. At the least, it can allow us to carry our weapons.
For now, Director Mercer is working on a prototype. That's the word I was looking for. And once we have that, we can see what systems science can make sure the AI recognition system, and anything that might need science side's help with the programming side of things. And once we have
there is anything, let us know.
Yes. And once we have a fitting prototype, we have it approved by the captain, and we can implement it with the departments.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, good. Well, I will be returning to the security office then, and I will be drafting up the information I have gathered thus far.
Wonderful. I actually need to come to security too, so if you wouldn't mind if I walk with you.
Of course.
I was looking for Chief Gunch, but I have a feeling he retired for the evening.
I believe
I haven't been able to find him.
As we were talking, he just went past here, and I believe his room is actually in this floor, thus he might have done so, yes.
Do you know, has he picked a sergeant in command yet?
Say again?
Has he picked a second in command yet of your department?
I do not believe so. For the most part, he trusts most of us to do our duties. In most cases, we just report to him about the happenings, and in case something major happens, we either go to him or the captain.
Understandable.
If you have a security concern to give, I'm sure most of our members are willing to take it and then give it to him once he is awake.
Well, I just wanted to meet with your department. Any subtle toxins leave from my own self. It is a toxin that can cause skin irritation if not properly applied. The idea is that it could be applied to weapons in this instance, to cause toxicity to wounds you inflict.
I see. So, a possible chemical agent to add to physical weaponry for not in any I assume this irritation is not lethal in any way, just
if copious amounts get into the bloodstream, it could be very dangerous. You and me, an excessive amount ingested for it to be lethal.
Understood.
It can lead to paralysis of a limb if said limb is overly affected. Think of a venom, almost, is what I have synthesized it into.
That could be useful if we make darts sort of like to add to this venom too. It could be easily applied paralytic agent in case of a singular person losing control and the like. I would inform the medical team of this too, as they might be able to use such a thing in case they have to keep someone restrained or possibly
Can make them dangerously sick. So that's why I got to use it offensively.
I see. Less on the medical side then. Understood. I will definitely make a note of it, and I will bring it up with Commander Kunch.
Okay, that will do. Really good. And until then, I will store the samples in the science lab.
Understood.
When you need them, let me know.
Understood. I believe I will most likely have Officer Tashir handle it. They are our explosive expert, and thus they are the most experienced when it comes to usage of chemicals, at least as far as I know. Possibly Officer Crush too.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you for this information. It's useful to know what we have access to.
Of course. And since you need anything created that is this year, I know you said that is something they do. Yes, let me know. I can grant them access to the labs should they need it.
Understood.
But I will be on my way. And together, I want to go see what's up is.
Of course, I have a report to make now. That is not a weapon, that is a tail. I believe that is Officer Tashir with the head of medical. Oh.
Delon.
Officer Cross.
How goes the monitors?
Quite the amount of people in this hallway outside of ours. I'm currently writing. I'm currently writing down the specifics of the sidearm container project.
Very good.
Director Mercer is going to make a prototype of the container, and then we will see if the heads approve of the design and the locking mechanisms, and if approved by them and the captain, we will then see of implementing it. It seems the head of science. It seems the head of science specifically has been is very what's the word? Accepting of this idea. Apparently, they have been a bit worried of their personnel's lack of self-defense options.
Well, if they feel more secure with the locker, then I'm all for it.
Also,
I'm sorry, Archer. Is there something that I could help you with?
Yeah, I need you to talk to you specifically. You're Argon, right? I honestly don't think
That
I've
is
talked to you
correct.
yet.
That's a pleasure.
Okay. Really quick. You do know silence, right?
Yes.
Okay. I need a sample. You doing your thing. Just like whatever you can do to show your psionic abilities to do a thing.
All right. I understand.
See if flash energy into his eyes. Into the data pad.
Understood.
Interesting.
hello, Tashir.
Hey, Archer.
Well, that doesn't seem to be working at all. Hello.
Understood.
Vane was asking about turret practice on the ship. I thought I would let you know. You are the pilot. I figured it's between you and the captain.
What are we going to be shooting at?
Congratulations.
I was able to talk with the director of science. They were very much happy about the idea of the sidearm lockers.
They might come up. I defer to you.
Well, we're not going to shoot the gun
Now we just wait for Director Mercer to make the prototype, and then we get it approved. Make certain that the AI is able to actually use facial recognition, and then that as a way of unlocking the locker for use.
You are a smart pilot. You'll excuse me.
I wonder if we should add an extra layer of security that we do not actually inform any of. Something simple and small that can function even without power. Possibly in a simple thing of that checks for the weight of the container at all times, or at least triggers when the weight lessens, so that there's always information of something leaving or being added to the locker, even when the power is out.
Maybe.
The idea being that as long as people outside of security do not know of it, they cannot bypass it. Or that at least there would be some sort of proof of something being done. Did you hear of the science director? They told me about the possible toxin they make themselves.
Oh, yeah, they had made 3 vials. That's what I put into the locker in the container.
Seems to be a paralytic agent.
Yeah. I'll be using one of the vials and an explosion or explosive at a later date, but I think 2 of the vials can stay in there to be used to coat weaponry when needed.
I'm thinking of possibly getting a simple dart weapon and then coating the darts with the agent. Obviously will not really work in a situation where people are heavily armored, but will be useful against wildlife and the like. We'll also need to tell the commander that maybe he should sign off whenever he heads to the quarters for the night. I understand Officer Cross is maybe one of the few that does it, but I believe that it will be quite useful if we all did it, in case someone is trying to find someone specific, so that the rest of the department knows that they have already went to bed. Speaking of, are you in the point where you might need to start heading out?
Oh no.
The first week is the hardest, then it starts becoming routine.
Yeah, and I do know though is a wait. Left arm needs to get charged. No eyes up here.
Did you have a chance to meet the Akira's, they called it other personality?
Kind of. He said hi to me.
that's about us.
Yeah. He seems nice.
I guess the question is if that niceness sticks around during a high-risk situation. But I guess that could be said of most of the crew. I believe your bunkmate is heading to bed. Or at least in the room.
It'll be a bit before the doors lock and fill with nothing. She works a little bit before heading to bed. I got some time.
With all the issues the ship has, it is nice that the ship at least has that sort of special needs made certain to work. After all that walking around and talking with all the heads, I am quite exhausted myself.
Something
It's something I never really... I did have seen you a few times without the mask, but I never really... Something I've really paid much attention to. It is still slightly jarring how quickly you just casually take your limbs off. It takes quite a lot of effort to try to remove this one.
Mine were made to be easy release, in case I ever acted up.
And thus far you have not shown any reason for such precautions.
My race is front of violence, as I have stated. Precaution.
Right. I mean, even with those limbs, I'm sure at least most of our officers will be able to take you down for the most part, I believe. Unless you have an explosive in your hand, that would be even the odds, I believe.
Yeah, that would. No. I would say that on normal circumstances, if I didn't have all these cybernetics, I'd be admirable foe, I would assume. But I don't. So I gotta get used to these. And the uselessness of my tail.
Are you implying that all of these extensions are new?
Well, these grade, yeah. When I was in my cell, I would have barely put together ones, enough to lift me around. These ones are definitely more powerful than what I was used to.
Yeah, you had an upgrade, I had a downgrade. Compared to my military issue, cybernetic, this is it's functional, and it's able to handle a rifle. But there definitely is a more kickback than I'm used to. Speaking of weapons, weapons, the head of medical was hoping to have extra non-lethal weaponry in their sidearms, so might be something to look for. Making a few, I won't say lesser grade, more maybe battery powered stun weaponry. I mean, I somehow almost spoke different language there. My sidearm is your average stun pistol, which has the good side of working on battery power, so I can just charge it in between uses. Same thing with this, obviously. Though thus far this has gotten maybe 2 swings of use, and that was yesterday against a single bug.
Hey, you were able to use it. I should probably look into.
Well, from what it sounds like, tomorrow we will be getting near a space station, but it is abandoned and there is no IFF signal in it. There most likely will be another group sent to investigate. So, since we don't know who's gonna be leaving, who knows, maybe they'll send you. You eventually have to prove how you act when not surrounded by this many people that would act if you acted out of line. Not that most of us would assume you would. As much as you say your race is violent, I believe most people here have not had any reason to believe so. No? Unless your name is unless your name is violent.
I swear I thought I heard Dallas. My apologies.
They had me in like this skilled chamber.
No.
And they had
To be
pumped
fair,
way too much oxygen into
I am
it because
kind
they were
of
afraid I was gonna
an
suffocate.
exception of my race for most of the time. I've been able to control it relatively.
Well, lots of people are different. That's something you learn when you're a squad lead. Everyone who seems like they're just your normal, random, normal of the mill military personnel, live with them a week and you suddenly start noticing, that one hates milk, that one always uses their pistol first, that one never remembers to reload until half a second after they've been trying to fire an empty gun. Small details, small differences. And then you realize, this one is a psychopath in battle, don't let them have a knife.
That's been most of the opinion of my races. We're all kind of psychopaths.
And like I said, if everyone is a psychopath, then that just means that's normal for your people. Which is a interesting concept, isn't it? When you think about it.
People have a knack for finding just ways to harm one another. Hell, I think we don't have a long lifespan.
Listen, humans have that same issue. We figure out how to make a perfect tool for mining for minerals. Next thing you know, someone made it into a military grade laser rifle.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Humans are sometimes seen in the same way. We weaponize many things that some races only use as tools. It is not uncommon. But also our race is very tribal. We look into things in small groups. Have us look into a too big of a picture, we start losing it a bit, but there are those who break away from that, and those are the ones we put into our leadership positions.
You guys actually have...
I'll be joining you soon.
Good night. You guys at least have some form of governmental system.
Yeah. There's been a few times where there was a scare of something called the World War III in the history books. We had 2 times where large groups of countries in our land decided to go to war, and for the longest time after we had figured out how to make nuclear type missile weaponry, people were scared of that outcome as, well, it's always one of those things of if everyone has a bomb, everyone knows that the moment you chuck that thing, everyone else is gonna chuck theirs. Because if you're gonna get blown up, you might as well use your bomb.
I'm sorry, fucking what?
Talking about humanity's history of weaponizing things and being violent.
Oh.
You remember that? The good old days of the past, when we had nuclear weapons.
You mean the good old days? That's still fucking happening all the time. But now it's every species of everywhere.
Well, at least not every species made their home planet uninhabitable.
Fair enough. Wasn't my fault though.
No, it wasn't, and it wasn't my
There was
fault.
something in my eye.
Oh.
Oh. I mean, at least you guys didn't have a company come in and make it so only you can exist on that planet. Okay, my eye is actually really fucking hurting. I should probably go to bed. Ow.
Or just go to the room and activate the methane. Have a good rest, Tashir. And Tashir.
Yeah?
If after 2 more days you are not comfortable me calling you officer, I will stop. But please give it a few more days if you get used to it. That's all I ask. Good night. Oh, these are here. A separate shower and a separate bathroom, not 2 shower rooms with bathrooms. Well, now I know. I might talk about violence. I'm a soldier, damn it.
This is Argyle Cross, signing out for the evening.
This is Venturo Delon, signing out. All I do is use violence to protect. It doesn't fix things, but... well, that's not what I'm about, is it? I'll leave that to the others. I don't have to fix everything. Good night, everyone watching.